Whoa! Hey there guys, thanks for tuning in again. This is Red Tail Ray. I had a chainsaw party this weekend and it was awesome. Tore down a really monstrous, probably 24-25 inch ash tree. I guess that'd be circumference. So, no, that'd be diameter. Circumference would probably be like 56, 57 inches, something like that. I don't remember how the math works, what my measurements were, but it was a really big tree. It was split down the middle in a low hanging Y. One branch already fell in my mound system earlier this year. The other more weighted side of this giant tree that this video is opening with was leaning way over the neighbor's yard. Not over anything important, but had a chainsaw party nonetheless. Found out my chains were dull, doing a quick sharpening. Got a couple new files and made a live handle, or a live wood handle ended chainsaw cut and then polished. You can see that. Some rough bits still in there from the chainsaw. I thought that was just super cool. I forget this is an ironwood or another tree that I cut down, but anyways, just file handle. I like the square. These little, I can't remember who these were made by, but these little files, 5.3 seconds, didn't come with a handle. They're just two replacements. I forgot that I had already made a handle a while ago and made a video on it and gave it to my buddy for his file. Anyways, this is why I'm making this video. I was going through my chainsaw sharpening videos on my watch later list, and I found a video from Wrangler Star and his felling belt and how he had 2 edges and at least an axe, or an aluminum. He had his both out of aluminum. But really like Wrangler Star if you haven't checked him out. Really like the idea of his modern homesteading channel, and if I could do it, God, I would. Good Lord, I would. I've always dreamed about being a wildland firefighter. Closest I've been is a volunteer firefighter and certified sawyer through the Forest Service, but never got any action. So this is just my little felling kit for the homework that I do around here. I've got an acre, but I've got a lot of other people and friends and even my work just approached me today about taking down some trees. So I do some work other than, just the regular homeowner would, and I help a lot of friends out as much as I can. But this is my felling belt. I ended up making this rigid, non-adjustable Cobra buckle belt. You know anything about Cobra buckles? They are super sweet. But measured 5 or 6 times and came up with the right size. This goes over not only my pants and my belt that I would be wearing, but it also fits over my chaps. There's my chaps and my bucket and my gas and some other stuff. The whole kit. Anyways, this is just my quick little version. I made this out of Kydex a couple years ago when I started getting into Kydex and holster making and stuff like that. There's the most recent project. It's a sweet little quick clip holster, but I made these. It was just kind of a shit, I wonder if I could do it, and it worked out so well, and I don't think I've ever told anybody about it. I never think I made a video on it. So here's a quick intro to that. I'm going to show you guys this thing in action here when I'm splitting this, or not splitting this, but cutting giant slabs out of this big ash that we just dropped. I will loop this in and see you guys. Alright, so again, this is my poor man's felling kit. Just a little Fisher's camp axe and a couple plastic wedges on a custom made belt that I made. And this is how it works. Got my boots on, my safety boots, the steel toes. Got my chaps on. These are the Stihl Pro Marks. Just like that. A buckle, and I got some adjustability, but you pull the wedges out however I need them. Pull the back out, and holster it. Stay in there pretty good. Move around, a little flexibility. Alright there guys, thanks for tuning in again. This is Red Tail Ray. So, normally the small tree cutting that I do is just with this little Stihl 251. Works pretty good. Just got an 18-inch bar. Adequate size and more than enough power for most everything that I need. Moved out here about a year and a half ago now into beautiful wooded, acre lot for a backyard, and it's just really nice. And there's a lot of tree problems we've been having, especially. You can see this guy right here. Got a bunch of widowmakers and stuff. And you can see back in the background, way back in there, we had to take down a really, really big tree. And I've got that one marked. It's in the foreground for coming down. And you can tell from my yard, we tore it up pretty good just trying to get a bucket lift back in there. But that tree back in the background is the one I'm going to be doing a video on today. Is 24 inches across. It's a big tree, about 56 inches around. And my little 18-inch bar just isn't adequate for it. So luckily, having friends in the fire department, I was able to borrow this guy. Well, bam! This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Stihl 391 with a 28-inch bar. Now this saw scares me a little, actually. I've used it once before. Buddy came over and let me borrow it and just did a couple quick zips. But this is a real saw. This saw I could not manage all day. I don't have the experience and time using this big of a monster saw, but this is gonna be fun. So we'll see what happens. I'm trying to make some cookies out of this big log. What I went ahead and did is I raked all along and made sure I knew what was going to be underneath, or at least in the general vicinity of this giant log. And it's a good thing I did, because there's a whole bunch of rocks. There's a big one right there and a couple of other rocks that are just too big to dig out right now. Don't really care, but the point is, you don't ever want to bring your chainsaw down into the dirt, and especially against rocks. So it's good to clear out the branches, clear out the tripping hazards, some of the other small stumps and just garbage, and get it out of your way. For safety. Everything's about safety. Some of you might be asking why I don't go all the way through. Well, I want the weight to stay on this log. And again, it's not my saw, and I don't like bringing saws into the dirt. But, especially with the rocks and stuff. But I'll get it all sliced up here like this, and then I'll roll it. Yeah, that 391's got no problems though. Alright, well, as you can tell, on the top of this, at least one of these branches was really, really rotten. Nice big bugs and grubs up in there. But mostly just turns to dirt when a tree sits for this long. It's all dirt. You can see too, a lot of these pink wood chips I've been getting. This tree was infected with something. And I got those especially over here on this side. Look at those pink wood chips. Lots of pink wood chips. Anyways, I didn't really even need to use my wedges at this point, but just to show you, if I were to use wedges, just to see. Just to kind of help me out a little bit. So that way, if you're chainsawing down on the bottom, that pressure does not come back and pinch your bar. And that's the whole intent, that's the whole idea. And you can get all the way through it. Again, I'm not going to cut into the dirt, but it's just my my take on a little feller's belt, just a mini axe, something to pound some plastic wedges in. And a lot of wood chips. Holy crap, the wood chips. It's probably 1.5 foot deep of wood chips. Quick work of that tree though. So as you can see, it's all about the right tool for the right job. I want to say there's no way I could have done this with my little 251 and an 18-inch bar. Because there is a way. I've done it before with bigger trees, but it's just a pain in the butt and it's time consuming. And this took me all of, what, 45 minutes maybe? Plus the time to stop and take video and all that nonsense. So hope you guys enjoy. This is kind of a combo video of the Stihl 391 I borrowed from a friend of mine, doing some good work, and the little belt kit that I made up. Thanks for tuning in again. I'll see you guys in the next video.